Hello and welcome to another episode of Music and Words Unite. I am your co-host Troy, and with me I have my friend and co-host Mark. How you doing, Mark?
What's up, y'all?
And today we are going to be reviewing this album called Still Love by the band Teenage Wrist. So, Mark, this was a discovery for me at the end of last year, this band. I had no idea who they were. A friend of mine, Jay Hirschkel, who has his YouTube channel, maybe we'll do a crossover episode one time with them. They have originally a new metal channel, podcast channel, where they do these podcasts, but then they expanded out of all the other kinds of music. And he recommended this album to me to go listen to. So I did that, and I really liked it, actually, on the first listen. So I was a little bit surprised. I bought the vinyl, and and we'll talk about who the heck this band is and why I thought you might like it. I didn't know if you would or not.
I did. I did.
Okay, cool. So we'll get into each song in a second, but the band was formed in 2014, and they're inspired by alternative rock and grunge from the 90s, and there's some shoegaze in there. There's some,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So yeah, there's probably a blend of 90s alt rock, grunge rock, and maybe a little bit of some of the early 2000s vocal styles of like pop punky a little bit. I hear like some of the singing. So there's a little bit of a blend of all that stuff. So Mark, before we get into each song, I'm curious. Had you heard of this band before?
I had not.
Okay, all right. And when you first heard the first song, tell me what your initial thoughts were.
I'll tell you what. I
Yeah.
was enjoying it because it's very shoegazy right off the bat, and
Right.
our second episode was all about shoegaze.
Right.
So,
Right.
I'm a big Cocteau fan, Cocteau Twins, and My Bloody Valentine fan, which it seems like these guys are as well. So
Yeah.
What's not to love?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the first song is called Sunshine. My notes about it were the riff is, I love the riff and the chorus. I think it's really strong. I'll play the beginning of it here.
It does have a very nice picture, which I really like.
Bless your callous heart, but I live to beg your pardon. Flesh that tired smile, and send me in your devil's garden. Feel a little sunshine, inspire past lives, and if it feels right.
So Troy,
Yeah.
his vocals remind me a lot of Chino Marino of Deftones. Actually.
Okay, cool.
Is that where you were looking for
No, but
specifically?
I didn't put
You-
it together actually, but no, yeah. I hear it now that you say it, yeah. I do.
Yeah, so like his not as much screaming, obviously, but like the cleaner vocals, it reminds me
Yeah.
of a lot of Deftones, which is
Okay.
great.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, this chorus, man, I think it's just really strong. It's a really strong
is.
chorus. Yeah.
The verse is really strong too. The whole song is good.
Yeah, it's a really good. It's a great opener, right? It's a great
Yeah, oh
opener.
yeah.
So,
Mhm, yeah.
it sets the tone for the album. I would say.
Sure, yeah.
All right, Mark, I am very curious. When I gave you this album, I was like, I wonder if he's going to know who S.A. Martinez is as the guest. So the second song is Dark Sky. I'll play a clip from it real quick.
And yes, I did.
This is another great chorus too. But check out the intro.
Sticky yellow sun, oppressive arrow to the skyline. I'm the sickened summer fly, sucking on tail skin and headlines.
Very shoegazy. Love it.
Yeah. get to the chorus.
Can we set the dark sky from the new pollution? I'm trying not to go blind in my personal delusion.
All right, Mark. So what did you think about this one?
The song might even be stronger than the last song, honestly.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if it is, but it's
Yeah.
really good. I really like
Okay.
it a lot.
So S.A. Martinez is the high-pitched rapper, from high-pitched relatively to the other guy, in 311. So, and there's a running joke in our friends group about 311. So that's why I was curious as to when I gave you this. I'm like, is he really giving me a 311 thing to listen to? But anyway, so yeah, Mark. But I'm glad you like it. You know, I think it's a cool song.
man.
Yeah.
It's right up my alley, honestly.
Okay. All right. Why don't we talk about the next one, which is the title track, which is Still Love. Yeah, Mark, what did you think about this one? Or do you want me to play a clip?
This one, like the last track, was also really strong, if I remember correctly. Yeah, why don't you play a clip and refresh my mind real quick?
Bad news on my breath, I gotta smoke it out.
So yeah, now that you remember this one.
I do, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think about this one?
So it's like a shoegaze grunge band with a like almost like slowed down pop punk singer, vocal wise, but it's like,
Right.
but it fits really well together and it molds really well together. And it has like a very ethereal sounding to it. Like it's not as like ethereal as traditional shoegaze is,
Right.
but it's like a good blend of like shoegaze and like alt rock and like I said, like his vocals are almost like pop punk sounding, but like slowed down a little bit.
Yep.
And I think it meshes really well together. And this song is really good too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
This might be my favorite actually.
Yeah,
It's up there. If you listen to this, there's a part where this female singer comes in. Her name is Soft Cult.
Soft Cult, yeah.
So I don't know if you know this, Mark. There's a whole resurgence from the youth about this style of music.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So like this is a band that's in that genre of like the resurgence of 90s grunge and shoegaze and alt rock and stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't tell from this album.
There, and so much so that I think Smashing Pumpkins is definitely an influence on this band. And in this part, you can hear the melody for Today in this part. So if you can pick it up, I'll see if I can find the clip of it.
Bloody knuckles and blackened eyes. You wear your bruises like a disguise. 'Cause what you fear the most are the words stuck in your throat. But you won't give up.
Check this part, man. This part is awesome.
Just carry it alone.
Oh yeah. Sign me up for that.
I honestly wish she was just in the band. Like I want them together just to play together all the time.
Yeah, for real, man.
She sounds so good with their music and stuff. So
this band reminds me, are you familiar with a band called Slow Dive?
I've heard of them from you, but I've never actually listened to their music. Yeah.
So they're another shoegaze band, but they have they also have a female vocalist, but they have both. And the music set reminds me of their one album called Souvlaki, which is from like the 90s.
Yeah.
And it's like a seminal shoegaze album, and it when the part where she sings with the music too is like it reminds me of that album, and it's an amazing album. So
I see. Cool.
yeah, this
cool.
might be the best track on the album, honestly.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
I'll give you a spoiler of my review of this album. Side A, which on the vinyl is everything through Wax Poetic, I think,
Hmm.
which is, I believe that's true, is very, very strong. The whole side A is very strong. Side B is cool. It's nowhere near as strong as side A, though, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
so that's my take on it. And Mark and I have gone back and forth, and we complain to each other that when we do album reviews, we're never critical. And normally that's because we tend to review things that we really either already like, one of us already likes, which means the
Hmm.
other person might like because we have maybe similar tastes sometimes. But and then sometimes we'll just listen to something that we've never heard, but that's because we want to listen to it, which tends to lead itself to stuff that we like. In this case, this is an album I like, but I can say the second half of this album, to me, the side B, is definitely a little weaker than the first side. But I do like most of the songs on this album, even on side B. So when we get there, I'll talk about it.
Okay.
Let's continue on to on side A, which is Digital Self, which is actually a song, one of my favorites on the record too. I'll play a clip from it, and I'm going to bring up the lyrics while I play it for you, Mark, so you can recall it. Mark was on vacation, and he didn't have time to do his normal notes on this one, so I'm just giving him some audible recalls on this episode. So so yeah, let me play a little bit of it.
So, right off the bat, let me just say something real quick.
Yeah.
So, there's a Deftones song you probably heard of called Digital Bath.
Okay.
It reminds me a lot of that. And it reminds me of
Okay.
another song called Be Quiet to Drive by Deftones, which I'm sure you're also familiar with.
Yeah. Yeah.
That intro is very reminiscent of that. I think this band is probably a big Deftones fan, which is awesome.
Right. Right.
But yeah, that's just my first like impression. Well, second impression because I already listened to it. But
Yeah.
yeah. So go ahead, keep
It's a
going.
little bit of a crime, man. I think the song is really good, and it's got
I think it is too.
It's got
Yeah.
11,000 views and 21 comments. I mean, come on, people.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to do an episode like this, because maybe somebody would listen to it and go, I might like that, and it would, spread the word of some good albums out there.
That's the goal, man.
Yeah. So
That would be awesome.
yeah. Let me play the chorus real quick. Chorus I think is really strong.
Price, the market price of my attention grew. I'm just a shadow of my digital self, trading my boredom for a comfortable self. I feel it slip away, disassociated, spaced out. Inside a shallow and disinterested world.
I mean, if you like 90s rock, man, you're probably going to like this album. It sounds like a 90s rock
It
album.
also reminds me of another band from the 90s.
Yeah,
Have you ever heard of
yeah.
a band called Catherine Wheel?
No, that's a new one to me.
A lesser known 90s band who's also awesome and kind of shoegazy a little bit, but
Okay.
dude, yeah, really good
Okay.
too. These guys definitely like know their stuff and definitely have good taste with music. I can hear it for sure.
Check out the lyrics to this, Mark. He says, Machine Dream, where was I when they were stealing time? So think about all the time. So this song, I believe, is talking about just being like maybe chronically online. And I can really relate to this song because sometimes life goes by when you're on your phone or when you're on your computer, right?
Oh yeah,
And you can kind of disassociate when you go online, right, with reality. And it could be a coping mechanism, actually. And so, Machine Dream, where was I when they were stealing time. So it's like your time is being stolen from you because maybe you're just captured it by this digital world, right? Cut all ties. Imagine all the love we leave behind inside. And then it says, I'm just a shadow of my digital self, trading my boredom for a comfortable cell. I feel it slip away, disassociated, spaced out, and we're all so shallow. I mean, these are like, it's very, it's very relevant to the times we live in, So I thought it was, and I think most people, if you actually think about it, and I'm not going to get too personal and deep about it, but if you just think about it, I would say at some level, majority of people do this, right? And either to intentionally cope, to intentionally disassociate. And maybe sometimes I do it and I don't realize I'm doing it. Like sometimes I'm too caught up in what's going on online when I should be, I should be present in the moment or whatever. So yeah, can relate to that. That's what I'm saying. I thought it's a good song. That's what I'm saying.
Nice.
The next one is Something Good. I'll play a clip from that. I think this chorus is really good too. Another good chorus. 4,000 views.
Oh, that's criminal.
Let me play the chorus.
Wanna erase my mind so I could be understood. I wanna come back to you with something good. I just wanted to love myself. I did the best I could. I wanna come back to you with something good.
Anyway, it's. What did you think of this one, Mark?
Another really strong track, man. I
Yeah.
mean, if you told me this album came out in like 1995, I would have been like, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, totally, yeah.
Right.
I'm just
Yeah.
hearing so many 90s influences on this album, and it's
Yeah.
awesome. Because
Yeah.
I mean, you and I both love rock and like alternative rock and what have you from the 90s and the 80s too. I mean, it's just
Right.
I just hear it so much, like so much influence, and it's just really refreshing to see bands that are still playing like this, like keeping the 90s spirit alive. And honestly, 4,000 views on this video is pretty criminal.
I know. It's crazy, man. This song is a good song. So
Yeah, man, it's a really good song.
Yeah.
And I think if they got a
yeah.
little bit of exposure, it would just they would be really big. Like
Yeah. It's
So
It's anyway. Well, we're doing our part. We don't have a lot of viewers, but what we got, we'll give it to you. So,
trying.
all right. So, okay, the next one is Wax Poetic. I'll play a clip from this one.
Wax poetic. Let's go ahead and clear the air.
I mean, Mark, you can put this record on and just listen to it straight through. Even though I think the first half is stronger, you can listen to it straight through and have a good time, So I think it's a good record. It's just very, it's consistent. It's a consistent album.
it is consistent. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm getting like early emo vibes from this song, like early
Okay.
emo bands. Like I like when the song first started, I kind of thought like Sunny Day Real Estate a little bit.
Okay, yeah, that I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so again, like these influencers are just like flying at me, and it's so nice to hear something like this in present day. Like I said, like if you said this came out in the 90s, I would have said yeah, and of course it did.
Yeah.
But it came out 2 years ago, so it's like it's cool. Like I want to sit down with this band and just like talk about music, you know? Like it'd be
Yeah, that would be cool.
cool. Shoot him a message, Troy. See if
All
they
right,
want to come on the
I
channel.
would love I would love to interview them if they care. All right, so the next song, my note about the next song, I forgot my notes. I should be talking about my notes. I said it sounds so 90s. So first on the next song, I'll play a clip.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, it kind of reminds me of The Fragile a little bit. There's some songs on The Fragile that sound like that.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Nirvana, About a Girl Unplugged. That's what.
Yes,
There's
first
thing I heard.
Nirvana and Nine Inch Nails from The Fragile mix going on. Yeah, we'll keep listening.
I heard about your God, found him hanging by a thread. Can't say I was surprised. Isn't that what we expect?
Anyway, I don't play the whole song, but it's a cool, chill vibe, 90s vibe song. So if you like that kind of stuff, you'll like it, right? People, actually,
sure.
I heard a little bit of, in the vocals, a little bit of Silverchair in some of this album, actually.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
Frog Stomp or
What's the most famous Silverchair song? Hold on.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I heard a little bit on some of this record, a little Silverchair, which is a good thing. That guy has a good voice, 90s voice. So
Yeah.
And I think they were like teenagers when they made that stuff, like 17 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
really young. Yeah, really young.
Yeah.
You know they're Australian too, which I didn't know until recently.
Yeah, yep. All right, the next one, Mark, is Cold Case. My note about this one was I said, has a big Pumpkins vibe and The Cure as well.
Okay.
Let's see what it sounds like.
I like that. I hear Smashing Pumpkins right off the bat.
Do you hear any Cure in that part right
Yeah,
there? Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's so Smashing Pumpkin-y, man. Like especially the melancholy,
Yes, it
and
is.
sadness time period. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I grow strong as you get older. Things you will never be free. You will never be free.
Anyway, I thought this is a good one. This is a good song. Different vibe than this second half of the record. Kind of has a different vibe than the first half. The first half is much more like rockin', you know, and this half is much more like 90s, a little bit depressed sounding music. you know, like like the Pumpkin style of that, that era. So
Right.
next one though is rocky. It's called Cigarette Two Step. Let's hear this.
Got that itch, so I scratch
Do you remember this one at all, Mark? I thought it was a pretty cool song. Like,
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
very strange sounding with that guitar, with that guitar riff, I guess you want to call it, like that. Down, 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 down.
You know what I think it is? There's a pedal called Digitech Whammy pedal.
Okay. Wow. Look at you.
I think this is what they're using actually potentially.
Okay.
And it's basically an instant pitch shifter.
Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Very cool.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but they're using that pedal or something very similar to make that sound. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. Cool. So the last half of this record, Mark, the songs are cool. They're all pretty good. It's just that the first half of the record, I think, is personally for me is much stronger.
Stronger.
So I'm not spending as much time on it. The next one is Humbug. I'll play a clip from this one. This one has a Pumpkins vibe too.
Yeah, more grunge, definitely.
Yeah.
This reminds me of like Screaming Trees.
Say again.
This reminds me of like Screaming Trees. Are you familiar with Screaming
Oh
Trees?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a cool song, man. I mean, I said that I really like. I didn't have too much notes about this one. I said I really like the groove and the vibe of this song. I thought it was a cool vibe.
It's got a good groove, yeah, for sure.
And I'll play the chorus real quick.
When I'm stuck down there, you wanna know if I have none, but you don't care. We're all stuck down and you wanna know if we're alive. Our humbug in here, in shadows we cling.
This song is very like grunge, early 90s alt rock sounding. It's kind of rough sounding, like it's not
I like it a lot though.
Yeah. So this is like more of a like of that style of grunge.
Yeah.
The next one is Sprawled. I had this one. I think it has a really nice vibe. It's a little like, I don't know. I'll play a clip from it. Let's see. Part reminds me of Weezer a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Strangers in a strange world, top of a hill, staring out. Voices in the pale paid me no mind till you came down.
Anyway, this song has a really nice chill vibe. The second half of this record, aside from the two-step song, is much more chill than the first, like chilled out vibe. You know, what did you think about this one, Mark?
Yeah, like exactly like you said, chilled. Like,
Right.
yeah. Now that you said it, it really does sound like Weezer. It sounds like Weezer,
Right.
Weezer and like shoegaze had a love child, basically.
Yes. And the last song is called Paloma, aka Ketamine.
Okay.
So it sounds like it's talking about the drug ketamine, which is actually used for medical. I don't know if this is the intention behind it, this song particularly, but it's actually used for medical purposes in small doses to treat depression in a lot of people. So doctors will use small doses of ketamine as a way of helping people through depression instead of using traditional antidepressants, drugs, basically. I mean, ketamine is a drug as well, but different type of drug, basically. So different side effects, I think, I don't know all the details, but I know it's popular in some of the antidepressant circles, from what I've heard. So yeah, what's funny about this is first time I heard this, Mark, I was like, oh, did they like sample Closer, the beat? It's not a sample, but it's very similar. But I'll play a clip from it real quick.
Damn it, that was so good. Okay.
Yeah.
It has a bit of a Nine Inch Nails vibe to it too.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it has a pretty cool chorus. But anyway, Mark, what did you think of this one when you heard it?
It's good. Kind of was like fading out a little bit listening to it, just because it's like slower and like, kind of chiller almost, but like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gotcha.
It's good though. Yeah, I mean, this whole album is just like,
Yeah,
it's
good.
really solid, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the whole album is solid. The first half, I would say, is like really, really strong. The second half is just more like chiller vibe songs,
Right.
But there's the good ones too that we talked about. So, if you're interested in this kind of music, in the resurgence of '90s alt rock music, check out Teenage Wrist. And it's a little bit of a crime, the views I'm seeing on these.
Yeah, I know.
So, I don't know.
The hell?
Maybe I'm not looking at the right videos, but this is the official record label, so that's why I'm a little confused. But so apparently, Mark, I haven't listened to it, but there's an alternate version of this album which has a different mix to it.
Oh.
An engineer named Ken Andrews provided their own mix. Apparently, the drum sound is quite different. So I think it's on streaming. So if you do listen to this album on streaming, you can listen to two different mixes of it and see which one you like better. All right, Mark. Well, overall, I think it's a pretty cool album. I think it's definitely worth checking out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially if you're into this type of music, right? So you might like it. So anyway, we just wanted to expose you to some. I wanted to expose Mark to this because I thought he might like it based on his history of '90s rock and shoegaze music.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah. Okay. And shed a spotlight on some newer artists, right, that are making some cool rock music. So yeah. All right, Mark. Well, I should plug our stuff, which I keep forgetting to. So we do have a Apple Music and Spotify playlist of all our album reviews and reaction videos. So you can follow along. This will be on there by the time it comes out. So you can check this out, plus any of the other albums we reviewed. And then you can go back and listen to our episodes that if you want. You could say, that one album that I found on the Spotify playlist, I want to see what they say about this, or vice versa. So all that's on there. And we have a free Discord you can join if you just want to come chat about music with us and other people potentially. So yeah, if you're still listening, thank you. We appreciate it. Give us a like if you did like the episode. Feel free to leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. We're trying to build a community. And subscribe if you want more content like this. So all right, Mark. Well, until next time.
Always a pleasure.
I'll see you later.